But a couple years ago, I had the great privilege of getting command of a destroyer in the Navy. And at the time, we weren't quite the worst ship in the Pacific Fleet, but we were probably third or fourth from the bottom. And as you guys know, I don't get to pick and choose my missions, and I don't get to pick and choose the people that are assigned to me. I have zero input into the budget that we're given to accomplish our mission. My opportunity was to engage my crew and to connect with them and get them to have a sense of urgency that yeah, there's so many things we don't get to control. Let's focus on the things that we can. I'm going to invest in you. I'm going to make sure you have the training so that you know how to be number one. I'm going to listen to you. I'm going to connect with you. And I'm going to try to create a work environment where I would be proud to have my own family members come be a part. And by focusing on the one variable that I had the ability to influence, my crew turned their own ship around to become the best ship in the Navy. And for our efforts, we got featured in the Harvard Business Review and Fast Company magazine. And the reader response to these articles was so overwhelming, I was asked to speak at a business conference down in Naples. 1,000 business leaders from around the country were coming to this two-day conference. And the problem was I had never spoken in public before. And I figured I'd be a breakout speaker speaking to 30 or 40 of the 1,000 people in attendance. And I got to Naples and looked at the program for the first time to discover that over the two-day conference, there would be just 3 keynote speakers. The first one was the guy who founded Visa. The second one was a guy by the name of Tom Peters, who gets paid $100,000 a speech and has a private jet to take him there. And the third keynote speaker was the schmuck from the U.S. Navy, who paid his own way on Southwest Airlines to get there. And I was so nervous I got no sleep the night before. I get up after Tom Peters, I'm nervous, I'm intimidated. And 20 seconds into my very first speech, there was a lady sitting directly in front of me, gets up and makes a very visible display of walking out on me. And sweat just started pouring off my face. I couldn't believe I'd be that lousy that soon, that people were already leaving. But I stumbled through the rest of the speech, and I met this lady at O'Hare Airport 4 months later. And she came up to me and said, "You may not remember me, but I was the lady who got up and walked out on you at your first speech." And I said to her, "Lady, I'm never going to forget you." And she said, "I need to tell you why I left." She says, "I'm from Berkeley, California, and I hate the U.S. military." And she said, "I didn't think there was anything I could possibly learn from anybody in your line of work, so I was going to go do voicemails and emails." She said, "But by the time I got to the exit, I realized that I faced the same challenge that you face, that yeah, I can order my team to get a mission accomplished, but I can't order excellence. And the excellence only comes about when us leaders, us captains of our own ship, create and lead those engaged associates and connect with them so that they take just as much ownership of the business as we have for it." And she says, "You don't know this, but by the time I got to the exit, I realized I wanted to listen to you." Turned around, took a seat in the back row. To this day, 8 years later, we've become best friends.